I'm sitting on a rock in a big field by the ocean. And today I'm hoping to share with you some of the beauty that I found in regards to a clue that Jesus Christ gave us all that is found in Matthew 18:1 through 6. There he says, "Except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven." He also goes on to say at another point that we should humble ourselves as children in order to enter the kingdom. And this is really beautiful. And it got me thinking, what are children like? How can we look at this verse? And it got me thinking about what that means. Because of course it doesn't mean to become childish. It means something different. So what are the attributes and qualities of children that may give us the ability to enter into the kingdom? So one of the things that he does say is a humble spirit. Young children have yet to learn what pride is. They do not have that same id, that same persona that we get as we grow older, where we sort of form our outside appearance in order for people to accept us. Children have yet to form that falsehood, and that's beautiful. Defense can also be pride, and so persona can be what we want people to think we are, not necessarily who we really are. So that's one of the beautiful things about children. Another is trust. They really do trust their parents, that they will take care of them and will show them the way. They have yet to trust in themselves. Like we do as adults, we trust in ourselves, our self-will, our self-sufficiency. Children trust in us to be their guide. And I think when you're on the path to God and who God is and learning that, you learn that you can only do so much, that you can only control so much, and things will be thrown at you, and when your knees hit the floor and there's nothing you can do to change it or make things better, that's when you give it to God. And it's miraculous when we let down our pride and our self-will and give it to Him. That's when miracles happen. And children are beautiful that way. They don't have that will to think that they can do everything for themselves yet. Again, it comes back to humbleness, I think, and sensing authority and having respect for authority. And I'll get into that a little bit later. The other beautiful, beautiful attribute of children is forgiveness. If you've ever seen children fight, they can say, "Oh, I hate you," or "Give me that," or "You took this," and they can argue and fight, but they're very easy to forgive. They're very easy to forget and forgive what has happened. Whereas adults, we keep a tally. We keep a balance of check marks and crosses. And that's something we can learn from children, is to be forgiven. And what did Christ do when He was being crucified? He prayed for God to have mercy on them that were slaying Him, because they were ignorant, because they knew not what they were doing. And this is the same thing that Stephen did when he was being stoned. He had so much love. They both had so much love in their hearts for their brothers and sisters in humanity that they prayed for the very people killing them. That is very hard to imagine. But it's so beautiful because it was their ignorance. It was these people's ignorance that was making them sin in killing these people of God. So some other interesting things about children is they're open. They're open and they're receptive. And as adults, I find, a good story to illustrate it is there was this young girl, and she was pretending to be on the phone. And she said, "I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to pretend I'm talking on the phone." And so she proceeded to say, "Yep, I know. Yep, I know. Yeah, I know. That was her idea of what an adult sounds like. And that struck me when I heard the story, because that is so true. I know. Well, children don't know, and they don't claim to know. They're open and receptive, and they want to be guided. They ask questions. They're constantly, "What is this? Tell me about this." It's to the point of exhaustion for the parents. And as we get older, we find ourselves saying, I know. And it's a lie so much of the time, because we all only have a small piece of the picture of what is in any given situation and in any field of knowledge. And in the world at large, we do not know. And I struggle with this too. I'm no better. I can come across preachy at times, and I don't mean to, but I'm learning this, that I don't know and I can't know. And the mystery and the grandness of what is too large for my matter body, for all of our matter bodies. If we knew the truth, we would probably explode. It is so magnificent, the truth of everything, of what this world is made of, who we are. It's incredibly mind-blowing when you humble yourself. Other things about children, they're happy with the little things. They're so happy with the little things, We're not as adults. We always want more. It's never quite good enough, is it? It could always be better. Our satisfaction, it sweetens our tongue for a moment and then is lost. And children, they're just so wonderfully, you give them a little piece of chocolate or, and they're just so, if they haven't been spoiled already by the world and by treats and things, it's amazing to me, my children, they're just so happy with all the little rewards in life. And it warms your heart and reminds you, we should be so happy with the food in our bellies, the food on our tables first, with our shelter, with our clothes, with our warmth, with any bit of family we have. Some people don't have any of these things. And grace be to them, and may mercy be to them. But those of us that do, this world is just so full of ways to beat us down. And there's so much to be grateful for. And children have that. The other thing is they ask questions, again, a lot. They're always asking questions because, again, they come from the place of not thinking they know. Again, they're not fake. They don't have those personas yet. So they don't really pretend to like somebody, or they just state it as it is. Not candy-coated. And there's honesty in that we lose as adults. They ask for what they need, straight up. They help their siblings to grow up and prepare them for the world. Now, as adults, do we do that for our neighbors? Do we do that for our fellow human beings? Do we help prepare them? Do we share with them what is good in us through edifying words, through encouragement? Or do we engage in competition and all the things, again, of ego that seem to grow up as we grow up and get bigger and larger and more important? These are some questions, that are good to ask ourselves in relation to who we are as adults. Do we have these beautiful attributes of children that enable us to receive love and mercy and truth and give those things to others and be edifying to others? They speak not evil. That's the other thing. The tongue is mentioned in Scripture more than any other part of the body. And it is stated that we have the power over life and death through our tongue. Literally. And in Genesis it says that God spoke this world into existence. And if you know about the lies of the world, you know that the rulers are sorcerers and they speak evil. And people speak curses and evil over each other all the time. And when you accept those curses, they can actually influence your life. So children, trying to be edifying, trying to not speak evil, and to be, as little children, honest, but not malicious, not gossipers. Children, when they're young, they don't gossip. They don't do that. And in my past, I'm no better than anyone else. I really am not. But I've come to realize that there is power in my tongue. And I'm trying to get responsibility over it because it's mighty. And it really shows hurt and bitterness if you're speaking evil against people. That really is not a sign of health. It's really not. There's no excuse for it. As an adult, there is no excuse for it. So, lest ye be as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. It's beautiful. And I can see now what he meant to some degree. So, humankind is sort of in between this kingdom of darkness and this kingdom of light. And the kingdom of darkness, in that kingdom there's pride, which tells you that you are superior in some form, that you are your own God, sort of boastful, and, Then we have bitterness, depression, hate, being judgmental, hard-hearted, short-tempered, stubborn, stiff-necked, which means unrepentant. You don't concede to others. You don't apologize. You just keep going forward and making mistakes and are proud. And that's sort of what that means. Now, kingdom of light. What's in the kingdom of light? Humility, forgiveness, joy, grace, love, compassion, a patient nature, someone who's teachable, and someone who is obedient to God. Not obedient to the persona, not obedient to pride and the lusts of the flesh. Willing to put the lusts of the flesh and the lusts of the carnal in this world secondary, or even further, really, in order to be truly a loving person in this world. Anyways, I wanted to share some of my thoughts on that passage in Matthew because it really had me thinking about myself and how to edify myself in being as a child again. And I'm just so thankful for every bit of grace and mercy that he's given me, that I can change and become more what he would have me to be. Thank you for listening, and I'll just show you some of the beautiful nature here. So I'm sitting on this rock in the field, And it's just gorgeous here by the ocean. This is the ocean here. I'm gonna go down the hill after on my walk. This is a part of the other big rock that's here. And that is beautiful Mount Maxwell on Salt Spring Island. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you.